The NFC champions, the Dallas Cowboys. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it is our extreme privilege to be on hand for the Super Bowl. And I can't help but look down on this field, partner, and think about the history of this game and all the great players, all the great teams that have stood on the field for this moment. So special.
This game is so historic that while we call it the Super Bowl now, that wasn't even the name of the first couple. It was the NFL World Championship game before the Super Bowl really took hold. And think about the Green Bay Packers winning the first two that got us kicked off and started towards where we are today.
And with the whole world watching, at the end of this game, at the end of tonight, one of these two sides, they get to etch their name in NFL immortality.
No doubt about it. They hold up the ultimate symbol of victory in this league, the Lombardi Trophy.
They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. And he'll be upended after a gain of 5, up to the 25-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Here to his running back, and he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Then he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
To throw, it's Murray. Being chased out left. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a 1st down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. And now Murray's going to set up to throw. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Murray going to try to throw on 3rd down. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the 1st.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? They'll run on 1st down. Pollard. The 20. 34 yards there and a 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. It's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
1st down, and it's Pollard again. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The impressive opening drive continues and just space being created by those guys up front.
We're seeing this the same way, aren't we? We are seeing an offensive line, as this game gets started, as it starts to unfold, that they are dominating the line of scrimmage.
Throwing on 2nd and 3. Murray toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
All right, here we go, partner. It's the Super Bowl. We always talk about keys to the game. No bigger one in this one than what they told us. They're going to take their best cover guy and put him on their #1 receiver.
Sort of be the game within the big game. This will be play number 9 coming up on this relatively long opening drive as they look to convert on 3rd down. And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. They were ahead of schedule after the gain of 7 on 1st down, but the defense does not budge on 2nd and 3rd.
It's 4th down.
Now to try the field goal, here's Daniel Carlson. The kick by Carlson is good. Not a touchdown, obviously, but playoffs, you're on the road. At least you put something on the board.
I would agree with that totally. You're not exactly sending a message to the opposition, but you are letting them know that you came to play.
And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Got it. Lock and the Broncos going to come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Phillip Lindsay. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Plays like we just saw there, that's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to build from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage.
5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with 3rd and about 6 yards to go.
Anytime the offense shows what they call a shot play or a chunk play where they're trying to get big yardage, sometimes people just call it gadget plays, and you hold it to a gain that we just saw there, you feel pretty good about yourself as a defense.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Throwing his lock on 3rd down. And he's got the hook up to Landry. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've got a 3-0 lead and the football as they start 1st and 10. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. And now it looks like we've got a Cowboy shaken up down there on the field. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
Now Murray throwing on 2nd down. And almost intercepted. If he could have picked it, maybe some space to go the other way. Instead, it's 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense that fell harmlessly to the ground. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing is Murray on third down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Raekwon McMillan. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
First and 10 at the 43-yard
Come on,
line.
set. 60 outlaw. Snap.
On first and 10, it's Lindsey. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's second and 7. On second down, a run with Lindsey. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's third down.
All right, Brandon, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward. I spy a couple of extra defensive backs on the field for Dallas.
Cowboys in the dime on third. They'll run it now out of the gun. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Three 3-0 after one on EA Sports.
Cowboys 3, Broncos 0.
You ready? 51 tonight. Let's go, D. Let's go.
On first down, Lindsey. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. Jalen Smith, the Notre Dame man, in on the tackle.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The run only got a yard. Here's second and 9.
132 fighter. He's coming. Double up, double up. Look at me. Go. Go.
Now to the air, Locke. Now Locke, he lost the football. It's out. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
What part do they went empty set there? No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
So the drive's going to start with Pollard. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. So now they have to contend with second and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On second down, here's Murray. And he completes it to Wilson. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
At the 46-yard line.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. And he'll give it here to his running back. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Murray. Ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. The Broncos onto the field ready to start their next drive. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
At the 19-yard line.
Ready,
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll run here with Lindsey. And he'll push forward for about 4 up to the 23. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
X3, 218, chop.
They'll try and run for it with Lindsey. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Here we go, set, 30 base.
Okay, just like that, just like that.
System, travel.
Block now on 1st down. Open man, that's Noah Fant, the tight end. That one good for 13 and a Denver 1st down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Block now on 1st down. Looking left side, that's caught by Landry. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. 18 big yards on that one and a Denver 1st. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 right at the 40. They go back to the ground now with Lindsey. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 38-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. 2 minutes on the clock in the second quarter of this Super Bowl. Coming up in a couple of minutes, we'll get you to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. The coach will have stats and scores from earlier today in the NFL. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Seventh play of the drive, forthcoming on 3rd and 8. On 3rd down, here's Lindsey. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
I wonder if they just kind of outguessed themselves a little bit trying to run it on 3rd down. Probably should have gone to the air to try and pick it up. Instead, the punting unit will have to run on the field.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now, seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny? When we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. Pollard going to try the right side. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. 2nd down. Murray sets to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Murray going to throw. That's caught by Penny. And he's got the first down, yardage before being taken down at midfield. Now a timeout called for by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Here's Murray from midfield. Flushed it, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. They'll try the left side. Benjamin. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. A final shot before half from Murray. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. So it's halftime here on sports' grandest stage in the Super Bowl. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report. These two teams sat through a longer than usual 30-minute wait, but we're back in action here in this Super Bowl. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Philip Lindsay, 75 yards, and the Broncos have taken the lead. Extra point up and good by Bullock, and the lead is now 10-3. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. Cooper was the target there. Well, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. And they'll try the jet sweep here. And he lost the football, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man. And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front, nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
To try again after the sack. Lock. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That 2nd down play nets a -4. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They trail by 10, 13-3 as they come up on a 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now Pollard. And he'll lose lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Murray with a third and long. He's going to look deep down the field. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
At their own 17-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Two draw courses. Hey, team 6. Team 6. Two.
Lock to throw on second down. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Locke. Screen pass to Lindsey. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. Boy, that's a 5-yard loss. Fourth down now. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a first down.
A tremendous return there, 39 yards. And the Cowboys are going to take over in great position here with a 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. Pollard. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Gonna run again here with Pollard. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success there. They rallied quickly on the defensive end. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on third and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good-sized run.
A really good run, but how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on fourth down. Do you really have a play you believe in, or are you just hopeful? And you've got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. On first down, right back to Lindsey. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
A gain of 5. Here's that 2nd and 5 at the 37-yard line.
One quarter remains here in the Super Bowl. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Recon, 132 fighter.
Jumper. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Kill.
Now it's Lindsey. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
10 logo, X3, 218, chop.
On first down, it's Lindsey. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
70, Indy. Greystone, Travis. Single.
On 2nd down, here's Locke. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jalen Smith charging hard for that linebacker spot, and he drops him for a loss of 11. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
6-6, pull it high.
On 3rd and long, it's Locke. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. And at least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. On 2nd down, it's Pollard. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Let's do this.
Well, as a lineman, they are trained. You've got to stay close to home. If you're more than a yard downfield, they're going to toss that flag, and they did there.
Here we go. Chain ring. 59. I don't think you got it, son.
Throwing now is Murray. And the Broncos get there and take him down. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
After the sack, oh, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's second and a country mile.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Alert flag, alert flag, flag, flag.
Here's Murray.
Check 26, check 26.
Fighting to stay upright. He sets to fire deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's third down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is third and long. From the gun on third down, Murray. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Well, this secondary has done such a good job of frustrating these receivers tonight. Another example right there on the deep ball.
Sometimes when the sun goes down and it's just the bright lights in the stadium, there's a little extra spring in their step, doesn't it? And that's what we're seeing from the defenders. Doesn't matter whether it's man or zone, deep ball, short ball. And that was a deep one there. They're making plays on the football, contesting everything.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
The last run got a couple. Here's second and 8.
Any weapon. You think you gonna get this? Check safety, check safety. Showing that, showing that. Switch, switch, switch. They go.
They'll go again with Lindsey. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
And this is an absolutely big third down that's been set up here, partner, and there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big third down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
From the gun on third down, Locke. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. His first catch of this Super Bowl, and it'll be good for a first down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a first and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. They'll run on first down. Lindsey. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The last run got 3. Now here's second and 7.
Two times. Topper. Check nickel.
Another run by Lindsey. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Come on, set. 50, plant. 61, matchbox, lights. Set.
To throw his lock. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Fleming. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll run. It's Lindsey. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
So 2nd and 9, and you'd have to figure just about all 11 probably crashing the line here. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Lindsey. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. So that'll back them up 5. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And that one makes this a 10-point game at 16-6. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done. But, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them, isn't it?
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again, but they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly, then they'll take it from there.
And the Lombardi Trophy goes west, and it goes to the Denver Broncos, your Super Bowl champs. And when this moment comes, I think you look back at all the blood, sweat, and tears, the offseason, the workouts, training camp, week 1, 2, 3, all building up now to say you're a Super Bowl champion. It's worth it.
It certainly is, and rarely Do we have a team that hoists the Lombardi Trophy that didn't have their share of bumps along the way, didn't have to face some adversity in the journey, and now they get to just enjoy it and revel in it? And all off season, they'll be signing their autographs with Super Bowl champion underneath it.
And they end this year just how everybody wants to end the year, holding the Lombardi Trophy. What a season for them. What a ride it's been for us as well here in the booth. For Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We will see you next season right here on EA Sports.